tribal chief has struck again, and this time, Roman Reigns didn't just return to make a statement. He rewrote the rules. At WWE Backlash, Reigns shocked the world by unleashing a terrifying new enforcer. Former Olympian and international powerhouse Jeff Cobb. Just as Jacob Fatu's United States title reign teetered on the edge, Cobb stormed the ring, demolishing every challenger in his path. This wasn't a rescue. It was a power move, a calculated, brutal display of dominance. Roman didn't come back to protect the bloodline. He came back to evolve it. With Cobb now under Reigns' command, the WWE locker room isn't just on notice, they're officially in danger. The empire isn't crumbling, it's expanding. A changing of the guard. For weeks, speculation ran rampant backstage. Ever since Roman Reigns had taken a step back from his dominant reign, questions arose. Who would take the helm of the bloodline? Would Solo Sikoa continue to enforce the group's ruthless dominance with his unyielding coldness? Could Jacob Fatu, who recently captured the United States Championship, step up and lead the faction? The pieces were in place, but something was missing. The bloodline needed that enforcer, that figure who didn't just deliver a message, but embodied destruction with every step. Backlash was already an electric event. Titles were on the line. Superstars were ready to give it their all, and the crowd was buzzing with anticipation. Among the high stakes and chaotic energy, one match stood out. Jacob Fatu defending his United States Championship. Fatu walked into the arena with the championship draped across his shoulder, a confident expression on his face. But as the match wore on, it became evident that the odds were stacked against him. His challengers were relentless, countering his every move, matching his strikes with double the force. It felt like the title was slipping away, like Fatu might be out of options. The lights go out, Roman Reigns' commanding presence. The arena was on the verge of boiling over, when suddenly the lights dimmed. The audience held their breath as the energy in the air shifted. The screens flickered to black, only to reveal a familiar symbol. The tribal chief's theme song echoed through the speakers, and the crowd erupted into a frenzy. Roman Reigns had arrived. The sight of the tribal chief was enough to send chills down the spine. No words were needed. His presence spoke volumes, cold, calculating, and undeniable. Behind him, Solo Sikoa walked with purpose. His face was unreadable, his fists clenched tightly, ready to spill blood if necessary. But it was the third figure that caused the crowd to gasp in collective disbelief. Jeff Cobb. Towering over the others, Cobb's arrival was not just shocking, it was strategic. It wasn't merely about adding another member to the bloodline. This was a calculated chess move, a power play designed to shift the entire foundation of WWE. Reigns didn't come to Backlash simply to back up Fatu. He came to change the game. Cobb's explosive debut. As the match neared its breaking point, the lights blazed back on, and the crowd could barely contain their excitement. Roman Reigns stood at ringside, observing the battle unfold. He didn't intervene, at least not yet. He waited for the right moment, the perfect opportunity to make his move. When Jacob Fatu was driven to the mat, the moment arrived. With a subtle nod from Roman, Jeff Cobb exploded into the ring like a wrecking ball, his sheer size and explosive power shaking the very foundation of the match. The crowd could barely keep up with his speed. Cobb unleashed a brutal barrage of suplexes, each one more devastating than the last. The challengers weren't just tossed aside, they were destroyed, flattened, and humiliated. Cobb's raw power and intensity were on full display, turning the match into a chaotic spectacle of destruction. Solo Sikoa, ever the enforcer, followed up with his signature Samoan spike, knocking out another challenger cold. The ring was now littered with bodies, opponents who had come in with aspirations of glory, but left with nothing but bruises and humiliation. Meanwhile, Jacob Fatu, though winded, seized the moment. He climbed to the top rope, launching himself into the air with his signature moonsault, a stunning move that captivated the audience. The impact was perfect, and after a swift pin, the referee's hand slapped the mat for the 3 count. Jacob Fatu retained his United States Championship, but the victory was secondary. The true story wasn't the title. It was the message that had been sent. A message to the locker room. This wasn't just another interference. This was a statement. Roman Reigns didn't just protect the Bloodline's hold on gold, he solidified it with a weapon more terrifying than any championship. The addition of Jeff Cobb wasn't a desperate move. It was a declaration. The Bloodline is no longer just a family. It's an empire with layers of power and muscle. Jeff Cobb's arrival is no accident. Cobb is a former Olympian, a powerhouse who has dominated wrestling rings across the globe, from Japan to Ring of Honor, IROH, and beyond. He has earned a reputation as one of the toughest, most feared athletes in the world. And now, under Roman Reigns' direct control, he has brought his brand of violence to WWE, ready to crush anyone who dares to stand in the way of the Bloodline. A calculated decision. What many fans don't realize is that this wasn't some last-minute decision by Roman Reigns. He didn't simply pull Cobb out of nowhere. Reigns had been watching, observing the cracks forming in the Bloodline's foundation for weeks. He saw the pressure mounting on Solo Sikoa. He saw Jacob Fatu on the brink of being overwhelmed. Reigns wasn't just concerned about protecting the past, he was guaranteeing the future. For weeks, Roman Reigns bided his time, carefully planning, calculating, and waiting for the right moment to make his move. Backlash was that moment. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. As Roman Reigns slowly distances himself from active competition and assumes a more godfather-like role within the Bloodline, Cobb's arrival makes perfect sense. He's not just here to protect the gold, he's here to carry the legacy and enforce the will of the tribal chief. Cobb's future with the Bloodline. But what does all of this mean for the future of the Bloodline? Could Jeff Cobb be more than just a muscle-bound enforcer? Could he be the next leader of this powerful faction? Roman Reigns has spoken in the past about the importance of legacy and passing the torch to someone who can truly carry it. Is Cobb the man to carry that torch? Many fans and insiders have already begun speculating. With his lineage, his physicality, and now the Bloodline's backing, Cobb is a natural fit. He brings an undeniable presence to the faction, a force of nature who could very well be groomed to take over as the next tribal chief. But let's not forget about Solo Sikoa. What does Cobb's arrival mean for his leadership role within the Bloodline? Is there a power struggle brewing between these two men? Or will Solo and Cobb coexist in this new, evolved Bloodline? The dynamic between Solo, Cobb, and Fatu will undoubtedly shape the next chapter of the Bloodline saga. As fans, we are watching the pieces fall into place, unsure of what will happen next. Roman's plan: chaos and control. One thing is certain, Roman Reigns doesn't mind chaos. In fact, he thrives in it. The addition of Cobb, while unsettling to many, fits perfectly within his plan. Roman's philosophy has always been about control through fear, unity through power. And now, with Jeff Cobb at his side, there's no force in WWE that looks capable of challenging him. The chaos is exactly what Roman wants. Cobb's arrival is not just a one-time alliance. This is the beginning of something far more dangerous. The Bloodline isn't fading. They're evolving, growing, and preparing to dominate WWE with an even more terrifying roster. The Bloodline's future, power and legacy. The message has been sent, loud and clear. The Bloodline is not just back. They're multiplying. With Jeff Cobb now standing tall under the Bloodline banner, the balance of power has irrevocably shifted. Roman Reigns has reshaped the game once again, and with Cobb by his side, the question on everyone's mind is simple. Who's next? Who will step up to challenge the undisputed dominance of the Bloodline? After Backlash, the entire WWE locker room knows one thing for sure. The Bloodline is back on top, and this time they've brought a monster with them. The future of WWE is now inextricably linked to the dominance of Roman Reigns and his unstoppable enforcer, Jeff Cobb. The reign of terror has only just begun.